here back at it. The Hip Hop Advocate Show with John Figs.
De la music.
Chuka chuka.
And the rock.
He's inspired from last week, baby. You getting back to it?
Yo, not yet, but, mentally I'm there.
All right. Yo, well, our next guest for tonight he might help you out with that. You know what I'm saying? Helping our artists reach that next level. Not just artists, record labels, entrepreneurs. Yo, his brother, man, listen, he got the in and outs. I got my notes ready. I'm taking notes.
Yo, he's a sea of knowledge.
A sea of knowledge, no doubt.
It goes deep.
Ooh, that's a bar right there.
Word.
If you want to know the game, you got to follow this man.
Because it's more than just, writing down lyrics, recording, and thinking you're going viral. Yo, there's levels to this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And this man, he got all the insides, you know what I mean? All the inside trades, you know what I mean? You got to bet on this man. Yo, we got Matej. What's up? What up, brother?
Yeah. Man, appreciate you guys having me. What's up, John?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Pleasure's all ours, man.
For real. Haven't seen you in a minute, man. The first time we met was at
Big Boy
Slime. Urban Plaza.
That's right, yep.
You was behind the scenes. It looked like you were orchestrating a lot of things, man.
Well, I was helping out my man JC, who's part of Big Boy Slime's team. I'm part of the team as well. But nice. I came down. He got me in the door, and so I was helping out,
supporting, moral support.
Big ups to JC. Yeah, man.
That's fire.
Color
man.
Works
and Off the Mental. Shout out to Off the Mental.
Yeah.
Color Works. That's right there.
Yo, but
that's my team.
Yeah, man, the team. I know you talk about marketing. That's important. That's a big thing that a lot of artists still haven't really tapped into. Up and coming artists.
Yeah.
They think social media. That's it. That's all it is. That's the ceiling, and it's not like that. It's deeper, right?
Yes.
My man said it's a sea of
knowledge. This is gonna be a learning episode. Remember how we had arts? He told us about NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be different right here.
Shooting star. The more you know.
Oh, the star? Shooting star? We're gonna have to edit that shit in. When we were here before, off camera, I was dying to ask you questions, but I wanted it to be in front of the camera so everybody else could benefit from it.
Let's do it.
We follow you on Instagram, and of course, like you said, we met you a few times, and just the stuff that you talk about. I'm just thinking to myself, like, how does you know that? How do you know to go down that route? How do you know to go with this campaign and not that, and go to Apple and not Spotify? Right. But just for the people who don't know, just how talk about yourself.
Get deep, like how you got into the whole music industry.
So I would say music has been a passion since I moved to United States. I came here when I was like 11, 12. Foreign kid, didn't speak English, fell in love with hip hop. As soon as I came here, didn't even understand it yet, but I was already listening to music.
Right?
Yep. And just became real infatuated or passionate with the whole scene. And I think what drew me to it was the hustle mentality that compared to other genres, I felt like the hip hop artists were trying to take things in their own hands. They were having their own labels, doing bigger things. And I saw that it was a business behind, right? So I didn't get into it immediately. It was, I went to school for mechanical engineering. After high school, started a few companies, got into real estate. Energy efficiency was a business industry that I did really well in. Me and my business partners, we grew a company from 0 to 60 employees in Maryland that gave us a good amount of success and learning in business. So then, probably in my late 20s, when the money was good and I had more time, I was like, let me get back into music. So I got in it as a producer out of passion, mix and master. I was always good with technology, things like that. And then as I, had some money that I was willing to invest into figuring out what, it means to be in the music industry, found some talented people locally in Maryland, invested some money behind it. But basically the way I learned a lot of what I'm talking about these days is I learned a lot of what not to do. I spend a good 30, 40 grand learning what not to do.
Wow.
Meaning that I got scammed along the way, on the wrong services and all that. And because I knew business, luckily, because of the other industries, and I also still own a software development company where we do e-commerce for big brands like Victoria's Secret, Goodyear, the tire company. We do their back-end development. So as I knew the business, I knew, you would think, well, didn't you know immediately after the first 5, 10 grand? I was starting to understand, I didn't realize how bad we're going to get scammed, in the music industry with, the fake streams and all that.
Ooh.
And
the
fake
what do they call them?
And things like that.
Stream farms and shit, right?
Yeah, on YouTube, fake views on SoundCloud. I mean, back when I really got hit for a lot of this money was like 2015, 2016. So like Spotify was out there and all that, but it wasn't as like scammy out there for Spotify. For example,
SoundCloud was more prevalent. Yeah,
exactly. So SoundCloud was where it was at. So through all that learning, in 2016, 2017. We actually had to shut down the energy efficiency company because we grew it thanks to a lot of funding from the government during Obama's administration. A lot of money came down to Maryland to try to spur the energy efficiency industry. They try to do what California is doing with it, right? So anyways, long story short, after that, we had to sell the company and shut it down. I was like, all right, I'm going to continue to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to go get a full-time job or work for a company. So I stuck with the software development, built a company and I was like, let me get into the music industry full-time for once. That was like 2017, 2018. And since the beginning when I got a studio and like got into the music production, you know, I had a studio in Maryland, a bunch of artists coming through. And what I was seeing is that 99% of them had no idea what the business actually was. They just thought, let me make a dope track, put it on SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever, and
it's going to
it's going to go viral.
Hopes. Lottery is kind of playing the lottery with that.
Exactly. So that wasn't the case. So from the beginning, I wanted to create a music business incubator accelerator, because when we were young, coming up in Maryland as entrepreneurs trying to get help on figuring out how to run a business, there was a lot of like business incubators and like the local chamber of commerce like would support local businesses, SBA loans, things like that, almost for any industry. But when I try to see if there was something like that for the music industry, crickets, like it didn't exist.
Wow.
So that was the first idea. But anyways, that all led to, you know, me having the Indie Arts Accelerator and then actually working with artists the right way once I had time to focus on it, run the campaigns the correct way, because I knew how to market for the industry that I had success in, the energy efficiency, how to sell energy audits and commercial energy audits and things like that. And I'm like, music is a product. We just got to find real human beings that would like the music. Let's test out if they like it.
Yeah.
But all this knowledge came from that. So it was a lot of getting burned. Or that's how people look at it. But I'm like, you know, that was my college education.
That was college.
That's how you learn, though.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. Oh, yo, before you continue, so you said you came here from where?
Slovakia, Eastern Europe.
Wow. Look at the hat. I see the flag.
Nice. Repping.
Represent.
Right.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like you said, you made some mistakes, some costly mistakes. I'm pretty sure you'll never make those again, because the best lessons are learned the hardest ways. You know.
Absolutely. One of my favorite lines from, I don't know which entrepreneur said this, but they were like, the fastest path to success is to fail as fast and as often as possible.
It's true.
And many people are like, the fuck, like, why would you want to fail as
Yeah.
much as possible? But if you shift your mindset, it's like the fail is a lesson. So if you learn many lessons very quickly, like you're saying, hopefully you don't make those same mistakes again. You learn from that. You keep iterating and just keep, you know, improving, getting better, growing, and, you know, hopefully that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that get discouraged by, you know, failures, and they just give up.
Yep.
You know, Hope did that, so hopefully you won't go through that.
Yo, word.
Wow.
Yo, E, like you, bro. You was doing the DJ thing, and then you got turned off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got discouraged because I was like, damn, this shit is hard. But you know what? But you know, with Kadika was here, I got inspired again, man. So,
And now he can't see nothing round. He wants to scratch everything.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
yo,
you know,
crazy.
that thing
Pause.
was connected.
That shit's
Right?
something crazy. Pause. But yeah, the scamming, you know, that's a big thing now, because you know we speak about that a lot, the smoke and mirrors effect.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know, my man, you know, he loves that term
What
because
is
he
it
sees
on-
it all day. You know,
Remember we were talking about how some back in the day it was like, you know, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie.
that shit is out
Nowadays,
Numbers lie.
Numbers
are
definitely
big
lie.
yo. Shit.
whole
What
lot.
do you think about that? All those fugazi
Man.
numbers.
I definitely went through an evolution, right? Like when I was getting to the business, one, I guess, advantage I had is that when I got into certain rooms, initially, at least they let me in because they respected me as an entrepreneur in another industry. So I started to learn like really the behind the scenes stuff. And a lot of, I guess, older executives that came up in the game, they're like, the perception, you got to make it look like you're popping, da-da-da-da. But that meant something different in the 90s, in 2000. And I feel like what it evolved to is like people thinking, well, you know, a lot of executives will say, you got to get your numbers up. They never said by any means make the numbers fake and then we'll sign you. They just meant like get your fans up, real fans. right? And I'm not saying that some of the perception doesn't work for some labels. They got to figure it out, right? Like they'll build the perception because they already know they're working with a talented artist because they tested the songs in the marketplace. But they also have another $1 million to go right behind that perception to actually fill it with reality.
Right.
But it doesn't work on the independent budget for independent artists. And not every, a lot of artists don't do it, especially in other genres. So I would never recommend it because to me, the way I look at it is that I like to compare being an artist to like being a passionate chef. Let's say you're really dope at cooking. You're always the person that like makes the fucking barbecue, like always making dope food. But, okay, so you're good at that. But how would you turn that into a restaurant? Or how would you get 5 food trucks out on the road? And what if you have an Instagram account and you're getting fake followers? They're not buying your hot dogs and your hamburgers.
They ain't eating it.
Right?
Same way with the music. They ain't gonna listen. Those bots ain't listening to the music.
Exactly. So, and the thing is that now that I get to work with labels and bigger artists and all that, I still haven't really, like, the streaming pays, but I still haven't seen it be more than like 20-25% of like the overall revenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting better and better because there's like thousands of ways you can make money off of, digital, like, owning your own rights to the music. TikTok is paying, hopefully it's going to pay better. Facebook just announced they're going to start sharing ad revenue on your music videos. They're like when people put ads on it. So it's getting better and better, but it's still a smaller portion of the overall revenue. The artists, A-list artists that are really making a lot of money, it's from touring, merch, endorsement deals, sponsorships. So the question becomes then, how do you get to all those other revenue streams? The only way you could do that is if you have real human beings willing to spend that money on the show, on merch, or you got real people following you and liking you. So when you go to another company like Adidas and say, you should put your sneakers on me. Why? Because I actually have 2 million real kids following me. And if I got the sneakers on, they're probably going to go to your stores and buy your product.
Mm-hmm.
And these big companies can, not that they would expose the artists, but they'll know real quickly if you really have 2 million real fans or followers, or if your shit's all, fake. Or not just fake. The other, I'm not going to call it a scam, but it's like a low-key scam where some marketers will advertise the artist's music the right way, but they turn on the worldwide like setting for location. And what the advertising algorithms do, they'll go to like India, Bangladesh, and Nepal,
a lot of Muhammads
to get all the,
You see a lot of Muhammads on there.
So, and again, like for a rapper that's in the U.S., are they really going to come here and buy your merch? Are they going to come here listen to music? So I'm not saying they're not real people over there, but I got business partners in India. I go to that culture, and it's huge in music, but it's Bollywood type music, surrounded around movies and things like that. So it's different, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the food truck. Like, I understand music can be consumed worldwide, and it is, and it's going to be, and it's going to get better and better. But it's like start locally, because you can't get to the merch sales and the shows than anything else if you can't draw a local crowd. There's just no way around it, So that's why I like to compare it to another business, to an artist, so they can visualize to be like, damn, okay, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
At least let me start that way. So I'm not saying don't advertise to other countries with your music, but be realistic about those people in other countries. How early are they going to buy your merch? Are they going to come see you perform and all of that?
Are they going to take a flight?
Right. Are you going to pay
book a hotel?
Right now, fucking everything double in price twice. You're going to pay $2,000 to
with
go
inflation,
to Europe or Africa if you're like a dance hall, whatever.
That's where touring comes into
artists.
play, right? That's touring coming into play is actually you now going to these places, going to these people that you're trying to reach. That's what the biggest thing is, getting your face out there, your name out there, like, face to face.
So I had a quick question. Let's say I wanted to make it like an example. Let's say for the young artists out there who's trying to come up, they just got this hot song. They just recorded this hot song. How does he go about putting it out there and trying to get some traction? What do you recommend?
First of all, how do you know it's hot?
Maybe like his friends, his network, his people around him.
Everybody, all the dick riders around him say it's hot.
So, because it could get tricky, right? And this is what I tell artists. Like, let's say 50 people told you it was hot. Okay, if that includes like, your family members, cousins, grandma, mom, and all that, these people love you. They don't want you, they're like, your shit's whack, right? So that's one part. Your friends may be like, your shit's whack, but maybe they're still going to support you. So 50 people is just not enough. So the way I would determine if it's hot, okay, you think you got a hot track, you don't got to look like $1 million and like you made it. Make a music video in a studio like this.
Mm-hmm.
Put your master file over it. Act like you're Bob, jamming to your own shit. Put it out as an ad and advertise it for a couple $100 to $1,000. Let's say just target New York City, target people that like similar artists that you think you sound like. You'll get the real comments and feedback, and do people save your stuff, share it, and all that. So, the way we do it is we're looking at these parameters, and I can tell off the data of what a hit looks like because we've marketed hits. Like we marketed some with Rick Ross, with Future, and Boozy Badass on features with some of the clowns that we work with. So once you know it's hot, then make a plan and a strategy.
What would that be? Where would you go with it first?
So definitely get in front of the consumers. Digital marketing is not the only name in town when it comes to advertising. Like if you're in New York City, 10, 15 million people in like a 20-mile radius, right? Word. And how many of them, like let's say you're a rapper, how many of them like hip-hop? Probably 40, 50% easy, right? So, I mean, you start with, like, actually I brought this on purpose because this is one of the strategies we use. So I had, like, why do you got dime baggies with you? So when I had my real estate company in Baltimore, we used to try to sell, like, boarded up homes to rehabbers to improve the community and all that. So what we would do is we would put a little piece of rock on here, and from the vehicle, like they used to throw newspapers, we would put a card to say we buy houses, and we'd just throw it on porches, right? So when we stopped doing that, I had, like, 5,000 of these, like, in the drawer, just these baggies, right? So when I was working with one artist, is we printed out, this is the artist's business card, his QR code, he's on the front. So let me there's a dollar bill, and then this is the artist, all the social media. And what we did is I went to the bank, took out $1,000 in ones. Well, I had to change that shit because the bank doesn't give you one. So we stuffed a dollar bill into each baggie with the card, and we hit the mall and went around the mall and talked to our target audience. So my artist was like a Drake, Bryson Tiller type artist. So we went up to young girls. I was with my fiance, so I don't look like a fucking creep, But so the way I would approach these youngins was like, look, I'm a local label owner. My artist is somewhere around here, with his Bluetooth speaker. Like, we just put out a song. Trust me, you're gonna like it. Support us. And matter of fact, we just put out a single. I'll pay you $1 if you buy it on iTunes or Google, Play, whatever. So what I ended up finding, we got like a couple hundred sales that weekend we did it. What I found out is that the youngins don't really pay $1 for iTunes no more. They all stream it. So I was like, all right, fine. Look, I'm still gonna give you the $1, but I want you to scan this QR code, go to my artist's Spotify page, follow them, play the track, like it, and we're good. It was like a conversation. So, some people are like, yo, nah, I'm good.
Fuck you.
Many people, when I approach them that way, I mean, my artist is walking around like, every girl loves him. He's got like almost a shirt off with the Bluetooth speaker. Like, oh, you sing? So it worked really well for him. But anyways, that weekend, we got, I think, like 132 sales for $1. But we got a bunch of likes and followers on Spotify and Apple Music, and I think a few Amazons, because some people had Amazon Music at the time. And it triggered the algorithms, and we actually got thousands of streams out of it. So the reason I'm saying that is because, we also did digital marketing at the same time. So it's not just digital. If you do that plus this, and then perhaps like if you're in New York City, you network. You go to showcases where you can actually make connections with like one of the heavy hitter DJs, like DJ Taj, what I'm saying, from Hot 97, or E Styles, or my man DJ Enough, things like that. You network. Maybe you say, look, we're trying to create a little bit of buzz. So you do all those three. I call those the 3 pillars of marketing: the physical, the digital, and the networking. If you do that behind each single, you're gonna need a budget to spend a little bit, but we're not talking $20,000, $30,000 just yet. You can, do digital marketing for a couple, maybe $1,500, $2,000 if you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can get these printed for what? You can go to Staples, get 1,000 of these cards probably for like $200. Yeah. You just need you hit the streets with your boys, like get interns, whatever. So it's multiples of those things, you know what I'm saying? But I recommend starting local, because if you can build a local buzz, then maybe 6 months later when you did 3 songs like that, you can actually get 100, 200 of your own fans in a venue. Yeah. Then maybe you sell 30 T-shirts. And then you start small. You still probably losing money from a standpoint you're investing into everything. So I don't want to – I'll take that back. You're not losing money. You're investing the money. So you're not making profit yet, but you're building your little machine. And if you can prove that model and people actually fuck with your music and you actually able to sell some merch, you just stick it out, keep that going. If you got somebody, either the artist or your manager knows the business side, maybe later you can convince the investor. But anytime you approach an investor, right, like if you came to me and said, look, we're not big yet, but last year we did, 3,000 in sales on merch. We did about 15 shows. We averaged like 100 people per show. We got, in the tens of thousands of streams, real people, Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that. You know, we want to get to the next level. I guarantee you labels potentially will be all over that as well. That will convince me as an investor to be like, okay, if I invest in you, that means you already build a little something. We're going to just 10x that. You know what I'm saying? But if a artist these days comes with even 100,000 monthly listeners and all of that, fake streams on Spotify, but they got nothing on Apple Music, nothing on Amazon, and they're like, yeah, I got some numbers, my shit's streamed, they're going to be like, the label owners now know
they can
how
see
to
that
figure
right
the
through
shit
that
out. Maybe in 2015, 16, when the shit was early, that's the thing about the music industry. It evolves so fast that even the labels get gotten. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some artists can benefit early days, but
it's lit in there.
Right, but that always passes. Like that period passes. So my thing is just doing the real way. Digital, physical, networking, get in front of real people to make sure your music works.
Wait, right? Let's say on that thought right there. You've been dropping a lot of gems, too many gems. I wanted to ask my two co-hosts here, see if they're listening. Yo, what are the 3 pillars of marketing? He said a little while ago, man.
The Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. That's what you're going to need in this industry, baby.
Can you say the 3 pillars of marketing again?
Digital marketing,
physical
marketing, networking.
Yeah.
Connections are important
All right.
in the music game. Absolutely.
Nice,
That's one of those industries where connections really are important.
You're speaking like a true professional right there.
Yeah, digital marketing. But so let's say, all right, you're getting that buzz, he's doing that now. The era now is more digital, right? It's radio. It does have a little play in it, but not as much as before. But to get on the radio, I mean, people are like, yo, I want to get on the radio. To get on the radio, how's that process?
Multiple different ways, right? And so we got FM radio, then we got Sirius XM, which is huge, right, nationwide, and then we got a bunch of digital radio, which a lot of that is BS, unfortunately, because I can go right now to GoDaddy, say MatejsRadioStation.com, get that app, and claim I get X many listeners, and tell artists, I could make thousands off of this. Be like, yeah, man, I can give them reports every week. That's how I got with a campaign.
Wow.
They were like, yo, you're getting hundreds of streams on this radio station, all that.
Like a www.
On digital radio stations, yeah, right. So then I look deeper. There's a side story, and I'm looking at these digital radio stations. I'm going to their Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, and all that. I'm like, these motherfuckers, they don't have any real listeners. Like, who's listening to this? You're telling me I need to come to Charlotte and start doing other campaigns, spend more money with you because these digital radio stations are spinning our records 500 times a month and da-da-da-da. But, we're not seeing no trickle down. Nobody's DMing my artists. Nobody's doing what? Because when you get real radio, you will get people DMing you. Your followers will go up. Shazams is the best way to actually gauge whether or not the radio is doing something for you.
What is Shazam again?
It's an app. Apple owns Shazam, but it's like, there was a show with what's his
hear
name?
a song and you want to know what it is.
Yeah, you just turn it on, you hold your phone up, and it'll recognize and it'll tell you what the artist is and how to stream it and all that. So that's one great tool that a lot of youngins use to discover it, including myself. I'm not a youngin, but you discover a lot of good music with it, right?
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Este episodio de los Hip Hop Advocates es traído a ustedes por McDonald's. McDonald's es más que un lugar de comida sabrosa. Es un lugar donde la gente conecta. No necesitamos otra razón para reunirnos en McDonald's, pero el crew sigue dándonos más. Si tengo que manejar una milla extra para llegar a McDonald's, lo hago. Es tu gente, tu comunidad y tu relación con el crew de McDonald's lo que hace que sea tu McDonald's. Cuando acabamos de grabar un episodio de los Hip Hop Advocates, siempre paramos en nuestro McDonald's local a donde nos sentimos como estamos en nuestra casa. Todos tenemos un McDonald's en nuestro barrio especial para nosotros. ¿Cuál es el tuyo? McDonald's, me encanta.
So, but the radio, you're right. For a lot of genres, and every genre is different, I would agree for hip hop is like, don't chase the radio, let the radio come to you. Build enough buzz. But if you have the connections, like for example, shout out to my man Ron Mills, good boys with JC and all that.
Series,
and he's really supportive of Baby Boy Slime, and that's a blessing. One of the artists that I work with, talk about him in the beginning. They were able to get his song in rotation on, what I'm saying, and like people loved it. So through connections, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? And that did help. That's a portion of what we're doing. Then we got ads running, all of that, and through all of that together, we can create more and more buzz. But
that's the networking phase.
Exactly. That happened because of networks. There's other ways through third parties.
He's learning.
Yeah, there you go. But for real, because a lot, and that's rare to have that type of connection. So the other ways of doing it, and it's not payola. So there's like either third party companies or labels not paying radio stations, but basically through the infrastructure of music industry, there's a lot of money in there and it's being passed around. So there's advertising and marketing campaign relationships between these huge entities, whether it's the labels, radio stations, whatever, and they work all together. So that's one way label artists get into those record pools, because it's already sort of pre-negotiated. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a label can get because the label is basically not guaranteeing, but the radio stations know the label's going to be putting millions of dollars behind certain artists. The radio is going to benefit if they play that, because a bunch of consumers will want to hear that artist because the label is putting the hell out of them. So they will actually then listen to the radio station because they're playing them. And when the real people actually listen to the radio station, they're able to sell advertising campaigns to local businesses, right? So that's kind of, it's more complex than that, but that's kind of the time.
That's how we got some whack songs on the radio, right? Because the label pushes it. If you got enough money, you could push it. You could get it on the radio.
You can shove it down people's throats.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I say behind that? Because a lot of people say that. Labels are not stupid. We may think it's whack, but there's millions of kids out there that may be 17, 16 that are just all over
soaking it,
eating it up.
Yeah, man.
It depends on what the demographic that's really listening to the station. But if we're talking about those type of campaigns, there's like, just to break it down, there's like Class C markets, Class B markets, Class A. Class C is like a college town, like smaller cities just to test it out first. Class A would be like New York City, Atlanta, LA, these major towns. And depending on that, through some of these third-party companies that deal with the radio stations, you can get stuff on the radio, and like there's no secret. Like Coach K talks about it, my girl Wendy Day talks about it. Like we're talking starting at like 30 to 50K for like the testing campaigns in Class B, C markets. If it does well, you better be prepared to spend more money. But here's the thing: that radio campaign, that's done when it makes sense to really get the artist to the next level, or where the artist already has a lot of fans. And they do it as a reminder to the consumers and listeners to say, hey, this artist is out there. He's got a new song. And guess what? A month later, he's going to be in your town filling up a venue of, hopefully 2,000 to 5,000 on the show. So it's like a certain phase of marketing. As an independent artist, like if you got the bag somehow and you want to do that, okay, cool. But if you can't do digital marketing and the physical and all these other things around that radio, it may not do a lot. It may, but it's like playing the lottery. Like, we all know there's been songs like, what's that, Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X,
but there was a method to that as well. He was an administrator of like a huge-ass Nicki Minaj Twitter account. Mm-hmm. So he had access to like 400,000, followers. He was really clever with TikTok. Yeah, Lil Nas X. So yeah, even though he didn't spend like real hard cash on like marketing campaigns and things like that, he had access to a network that had access to a bunch of consumers.
Yeah,
and
he had his foot
figured
in the door,
it out.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So
he found the right track, and he's like, "This is the one that's gonna go. We're gonna."
Or like country music, radio's still huge.
Yeah,
that's a different genre, different consumer. So that's why I'm saying, like, I understand the business is like, but I know we're in the hip hop advocates over here. So for hip hop artists, don't chase the radio. Build your brand, build that leverage. And if you find an investor or that label that you create a partnership with, they'll put you in the radio if they want to maximize the earnings and the potential and your brand and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or DJs. Don't let me forget. Shout out to my heavy hitters, DJ Enough and all that. You can make relationships with them.
We met him
and they support you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they really love your sound, and like if they also see that you got a team that's pushing, that they're doing the right things, they'll play the radio. They have the flexibility, especially big names, to throw a song or two in during the lunchtime mix hour, traffic, whatever hour. I mean, 95% of the shit has got to come from the record pool, but big DJs, they got the leverage to be able to play whatever they want.
Yeah, I think DJs are the main. They're the biggest plus you can have to get your music out there. It's like somebody that's known and has that audience. I think if they got the right record, because I mean, growing up, we've heard like a new track on the radio, and then I know me personally, I'll point it out and I'll be like, yo, this is gonna be a hit, and then 2-3 months later is the biggest shit in the world.
Yep.
But that's because that dude brought it to the audience, and reached a lot of people.
But that's something's going on with Griselda. Conway called out Fun Flex. He's
Yeah.
like, you haven't been playing a lot of New York shit.
They put him on the
big
spot.
right in the South. You know what I mean? And that caused a little static.
A little friction, but Fun Flex came back and
He started some shit, right?
yeah, he came back and then he started playing this shit to show him like, all right, I'm gonna do that. Now let's see what's gonna come of it now that I'm doing it, right? That's why he was like, all right, I'm gonna play your shit now. And he even told Math Hoffa jumped on it too. And he was like, I challenge you. He's starting to challenge somebody every week. Yo, send me 5 tracks. And out of the 5, I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna play it, and we'll see if that shit gonna stick.
Yeah,
see if that method
Joel
works.
Santana too.
Yeah, he just did that with Joel's. But he's like, because that's a method that that you could say was being used back in the day, like in the 90s and early 2000s. Is you just throw the track at the DJ. The DJ's gonna play it, and if he sees a response from it, where people are calling or they sending emails and DMs about it, then they'll be like, all right, this shit really is gonna catch a wave now, so you're gonna keep playing it. That was the old way of doing it.
And I love the fact that DJs are willing to do that, because that comes with that connection. And between Matt Hoffa and Fun Flex, how many real listeners are their fans?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking millions of people in the U.S.
Yeah, no bots.
Not even New York. I'm talking about the probably overseas. I mean, Matt Hoffa's his podcast is taking off.
Yeah.
So it's like getting listeners overseas and all that.
I've honestly, Matt Hoffa has become my favorite over Drink Tramps. Like,
yeah,
right.
I don't even watch Drink Tramps anymore. Like, I've gotten so stuck on Matt Hoffa.
Why is that? Why don't you watch it anymore?
Because I mean, it's just the guests. Like, he's having more guests that I'm more like fans of now. As opposed to like Nori already is like he's already gone through like all the big guys that we grew up listening to.
Word.
So now it's like look, he had Patti LaBelle, like she's a fucking legend, but now it's like he's going to another level now. Nori is as opposed to Matt Hoffa, he's bringing in he had Nature the other day. Like
oh shit!
When you see Nature do an interview with anybody, that's the type of shit that Nori was doing in the beginning when Drink Champ started.
Yeah.
But now he's already reached that level.
It's gotten a real commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes when you start out like on the underground level for the streets, for the people, actually,
I think they got to change the rollout too.
Yeah.
Like that Matt Hoffa's doing it right. He's doing 10, 20-minute clips the same way Vlad TV does. He does 5-minute clips. Drops, and then when it's all after he's done with all the clips, then he dropped the whole shit. But that's sort of a marketing thing to get people to subscribe and go into and pay for the Patreon stuff to be feed into that. Like that shit is, to me, that's genius right there.
Digital marketing, baby.
That's genius.
Right, yeah, going back.
Because when I be seeing these 10, 15-minute clips, I'm like, damn, I want to see more.
Yeah,
you gotta wait.
Scrolling down to see.
Yeah, like is there another one? Is there a new one? Is there a fresh one?
Like a drug addict, goddammit.
And it catches the algorithm because you pay more percentage of the videos watched when it's digestible at 10 to 15 minutes as opposed to a 3-hour show, right?
Yeah.
And it goes on its own. That's how the algorithms can work to your advantage if the content is dope. But it's got to start with marketing. Like artists cannot. Like here's another gem that you could go to. It's called Facebook Library or Facebook Ads Library. You can Google it, and it's basically you can Google. You can search on the Facebook Ads platform any brand. I do this all the time in my Indie Arts Accelerator. Like when we do live Q&As, or live like Zoom calls weekly. I'll be like, all right, who should we check out this week? Last week I typed in Little Dirk running ads on his merch. He was doing a show somewhere running ads on that. I've typed up like Rihanna running ads on her makeup line, or when music drops on music. You know what I'm saying? I've had one of my videos like from 2 years ago, Drake, they had ads running when he did the song with Little Dirk. with the new Mercedes in the video. They were running ads. So, and I've been behind, the scenes of some of these big artists and seen how much money they drop. So fans think like, oh, well, they're already big names. And I'm not saying people like Adele, like the mega stars, can maybe drop something and not require as much marketing in dollars per se, but they still got to make their circuit, go to all these shows and talk about it, and it obviously helps. But there's still a shit ton of marketing. Like some of the big tracks that end up on the billboards, they'll put $500,000, $1 million behind it. And I'm not even saying this from my own experience. Like you could Google this shit when Blurred Lines with what's his name, T.I., Pharrell, and Robin Thicke was on it.
Yeah.
So they got sued by Marvin Gaye's family or estate.
His estate.
So when the court happened, all that, a lot of that documents came out because it was public. And it showed that they spent like good $4 to $5 million on marketing.
Wow.
They made like 12 to 16 on it, right? So that's triple your profit. But that's where I learned. Like I don't even know. Like when he did that show on MTV, where Miley Cyrus was like twerking on him with the. Remember that Robin Thicke was on that.
Was MTV Awards.
Yeah, some of those spots, not all, because MTV may want to ask a big artist to come because it draws an audience for MTV, music awards, but those performance spots are also up for sale, meaning the label bids on them. And apparently they spend like $500,000 or $500,000 to make sure Robin Thicke appeared on one of those spots at the Music MTV Awards, right? Or some type of a number like that. And when I was like, okay, that makes sense. Not all of them are bought by the labels because the label may want Beyonce there because she's a mega star. And if Beyonce was on MTV, Music Awards, 10 million people just from the U.S. are going to watch it just because she's on it, as an example. So it's a leverage game. It's like it works both games, but that's what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted because that song went so big because they also put a shit ton of marketing. And for bigger artists, there's different levels to this. So it doesn't mean they're running ads with the same method I would run ads for independent artists that nobody knows about to get them known. For A-list artists, it's slightly different. It's like a reminder campaign. It's like Coca-Cola and like Geico. We all know who they are, but they got to keep reminding us that they're here. Because I guarantee you this, if Coca-Cola stopped advertising, they're a fucking mega giant. It would maybe take them 3, 4, 5 years to fizzle out. But I guarantee you they would fizzle out. 6 years from now, we wouldn't be, oh shit, yeah, remember Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Because somebody else would take their spot.
Yeah.
Pepsi or fucking Minute Maid. The other brand that's in the soda business would take over the attention.
Marketing is mastering the human mind.
Yeah, but fellas, going back to how we all met in Baby Boy Slime's performance when he did that show in Irving Plaza. Talking about shows, a few weeks ago we went to go see our brother Arts.
Yeah, man. SOBs, that shit was dope, man.
We had him over here. Dope. It was a great show. He's all about NFTs, about the digital currency.
Keeping it digital.
We had a good time over there, man.
Yeah, it was definitely. We had a great time. He put on an ill show. They had a little, they spoke merch about it. They had merch. They were giving out shirts. I picked the wrong size. Yeah. Can't even wear the one. I can't even wear the one I grabbed.
Large.
I grabbed the XL, but that shit was mad tiny still. I should have grabbed the double XL.
Yo, Figgs grabbed the double XL, and he said he was gonna do something with that later.
I was getting freaky with that.
Word up, man.
But dope shirts, dope show, dope time, man.
Yeah.
He took us to like the little VIP in the bag. We had some words.
Yeah. It's an iconic spot too. SOBs. A lot of people performed there.
Yeah, it was.
We got some good footage there, man. What's up? Let's show.
Yo, check it out. Let's show it to the people, man. See for yourselves from SOBs.
Where we go, you go.
Word. Advocate style.
What up, peoples? Yo, we over here at the legendary SOBs. We're about to go watch Arts perform. We had him on the show. Fucking dope artist. He's an innovator with the NFTs. Fizz, take it away, bro.
Yo, he's the one that explained everything for the hip hop community about NFTs. People asking us, yo, that episode with Arts explaining NFTs. I ain't know nothing about NFTs, but he showed the light, and that's the future, and that's what we're here for, to see the future. We're about to perform.
That's the NFT teacher right here. We here to learn, you heard? There's Arts, hip hop advocates, SOBs.
Track at the shrubs, you never felt the way to the world. Better yet, away from the plug, scared the crack. I saw an auction house, keep hearing what they say about that. Brooklyn rapper, aristocrat, RC hipster, and a player match, trailblazer.
Reject Dreams, the hip hop advocate. You see the shirt. You see the shirt.
He getting free NFT swag already.
I'm rocking this tonight. I'm gonna get freaky diggy tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yo.
He looking for something, y'all. He been listening to that.
Oh no, when I go home with the way I'm gonna put this on. Put this on. Yo, Arts, official event, you know what I'm saying? SOBs, the legendary SOBs. Yo, what's the lineup looking at tonight? What's up? What's going on? Yeah, what we expecting?
Yeah, we're gonna first give some education on some of the companies like OK Bears and Najadal that sponsor the event, as well as what I'm doing with my company Reject Dreams and the event series NFT Hypebeast. We're gonna talk some NFTs a bit. You know, we're gonna showcase the collection, play the album. The album got some dope guest appearances.
Can't wait. That's what we're here for.
And then, you know, I'm showcasing the collection for the album, and then we're doing a concert. We're gonna be performing a good half-an-hour set of some of my music from the project and some, you know, classic arts joints.
Wow. When is that album dropping?
Friday. Yes, this Friday. You can go get that everywhere. You can get the NFTs too. Buy some art. You know, your favorite reject. You know,
arts. Much love. Yo, rockin'.
Before we stop, I gotta say something. Arts, when you came on our show, you gave the big reveal about how your NFT, you were gonna be the curator for like the largest NFTs. You remember what
I think I sold in a blue chip auction house. That's what it was.
Yes. That was ill, man.
It's crazy.
Like we don't even gonna come and drop that bomb.
Sometimes in life, you know, I'm not one of those people that are saved the goods for certain crowds. I live vicariously with my journey, so if it feels in the moment, I go for it, you know what I'm saying? And in that moment, I wanted to celebrate. The minute I walked in, y'all guys showed me hospitality. You know, I had bottles ready, the cork popped without even me ready to pop. You know what I'm saying?
The boom was hot.
Yeah, and that's just people being on the same
You was bringing some heat, baby.
Yeah, likewise.
Yo, but honestly, yo, Arts, you bringing the NFT to the forefront of hip hop shit. Yeah. Nobody's doing it like, and I said, yo, we said that in the show. Nobody doing it like Arts doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. And it's because before even NFT, right? Like, I believe in art. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, like hip hop, art, expression. You know, so no matter what form that, some art could be called ABC. And you'll get some arts, rap, visual art shit as the ABC. You know what I'm saying?
Easy as 1, 2, 3, baby.
You know what I'm We live here at SOBs, legendary. We only doing legendary shit. Only with legends. It's your favorite Reject Dream or Arts. I'm here with hip hop advocates, the one and only Reject. Yeah.
I said it's Reject Dreams in the building. Can I hear it, son? Alright, we're gonna get straight to it. Let's get it. I want everybody to get close together. Don't stand by the bar. That's too cool shit. Come out the section. Vibe with me. Make work. Go. I make more than 6 hours for hip hop. Hold up. Straight make me stick up. Give a shot. Give me that. Good baby boomers and hip hop. Make the girls wind up and lip lock play. This shit's more DMX than hip hop.
That was that BTS from Arts, SOBs, man. Yo, dope night.
She
you
was
know what I'm
live.
saying? We got twisted that night.
He killed it too.
He did his thing. He did his thing,
man.
introducing the whole, like you said, NFTs, digital marketing. Yo, and I feel mad. Yo, it's just mad stupid right now, cause it hit me. Yo, we shouted out off the mental, but I remember when they were promoting Agua, the video. He was like, yo. He actually showed me. He was like, yo, he put me on to you. He's like, yo, we've been looking for somebody to market and do the digital marketing and you know, the promotions. And I met this dude, Matej, and it's so crazy that I'm just thinking about it now.
Was that back then? Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was, you know what I'm saying? We were in the crib, and he's like, yo, check out the video, bro. I'm watching. He's like, yo, check out this dude. And we doing marketing. And he was letting me know everything behind the scene. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. at the time, like, yo, that's nuts. You know what I'm saying? But all the effort and work you had to put in just for that one video, it was like, yo,
we're pushing that song. That's a great song too.
It is.
Yeah, no, that track is a hit.
Like,
That's
you
definitely
didn't perform that at the Irving Plaza. I'm like, you didn't perform your biggest song, but I know, artists sometimes like, oh, that's 2 years old. I'm like, so what? Millions of people still haven't heard it.
It's new to everybody else.
Millions of people have heard it, but a lot still haven't.
Yeah, that is a fire song. You know what else is fire? Above the Rim too. That one, I like that one too. Official. Yo, so we were talking about off the camera, and I know that you got like a juicy announcement that you wanted to say. You got some really good news, and you're here now, man. All right, you should let the people know.
Yeah, definitely. So it's
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Hip hop advocates. Yeah. Hip hop advocates. Yeah. Hip hop advocates. Still got the hunger like I'm living in the third world. Say your last words as I'm lifting up the burner. The lyrics that I serve something different, what they prefer. Hard heads never learn, they still leading Gerber. Yo. Take the money off the safe slow, dump the guns, burn the whip and chill while we lay low. I'm lifting up the mic, giving motherfuckers halos. I'm putting down the work, watch it burn like fuego. They say numbers don't lie, but I bet to differ. And if your chick's looking fly, then I'm getting with a game is sharper than head with scissor hands, fingertips. I'm going for the win, final shot, nigga, this is it. Cause others popping and they asking how you do that. Niggas on the block stay feeling for that boom bap. And all you other MCs, get a new plan. Cause when my team let off, you better move back. Move back, motherfucker. The advocates, motherfucker. Hip hop advocate. Let's ring around the Rosie. The advocate's my Cody. Whipping track like it's Toby. Fact is a rap like your boy eating roti. Listen closely, nothing here is closer below me. You poke me, then I slowly show you the whole beast. Eat MCs, egg white scramble, toast them like Hobie. Got that winner mentality, rest in peace Kobe. Kicking sons out my house, you rappers Jody. Gotta update award shows, new categories. All this dick buying so much, they need a trophy. Say what I please, I got more filters than Chloe. Roller OZ with cousin Dre, then I OD. Won't stop till I'm looking down from the nosebleeds. Pound for pound, one of the best. Sugar Shay Mosley, cold mother, nothing about her Miss Cozy. Break fools like high school spoons, hope you're nosy. Yeah. What y'all been missing? Hip hop advocates. Yeah. Hey yo, bring around the Rosie, pockets full of dosey. I'ma grind it out till you really get to know me. It only took one time to show me the go see what I'm looking for. Watching funny niggas closely, I stand firm, waiting for the approach. Gotta flow like water, that'll sink down your boat. You already know, y'all better stand clear. The advocates been on it for the last 15 years. We been here, we ain't stopping. Got you watching and bopping, cause we stay dropping lyrical content. It's popping, we ain't need that option. You need to keep success, I'm the fucking locksmith. Hot shit, it's constant, I'ma empty the tank. Filling up the bank with francs, giving thanks to those who give real love. This your nigga Erupt, who get you some ice cream man with no ice cream truck. Fuck is up, I say we're here to get it. Call the medic, I'm here to rep it. Hip hop advocates, baby. Bring it around.